Hello students, welcome to science class. Now I am back with the second part of the lesson, the living organisms and their surroundings. So before starting new topic, let's revise what we have learned yesterday. So yesterday we have learned about living organisms. Many types of living organisms we see that in hot region, in cold region, in sea, in everywhere, wherever you see on land, in water or in the air, everywhere you find living organisms. Even we found tiny organisms in the opening of volcano also. Our today's topic is habitat and adaptation. So yesterday we saw one activity also. In activity we found one things. In the sea, plants and animals are surrounded by saline water. Isn't it saline water? It means salty water. So most of them, it means that animals which live in sea, in water, most of them use the air dissolved in water. And one more thing, and on the other hand, in desert area, so in desert area very little water available because it is very hot in the daytime and very cold at night time. So the animals and plants of the desert live on the desert soil and breathe air from the surrounding. So about that two things, one is a sea and second is a desert. So both are very different surrounding, and we find very different kind of plants and animals in this region. Yes, because okay, so let's see there's two different kinds of organisms from the desert and sea. From the desert we see about camel, and from the sea we see about fish. First, the body structure of the camel. Body structure of a camel helps it to survive in desert condition because camels have long legs which help to keep their body away from the heat of the sand or soil, we can say. And one more thing, they excrete small amount of water, small amount of urine in the sense, and their dung also very dry. And one more thing, they do not have sweat. It means that camel lose very little water from their bodies, and they can live for many days without water. So these are the features of the camels. Now what about fish? So many kinds of fish are there. So many things are common about their shape. Once they have streamlined shape, streamlined body that you have learned in chapter 8, and their shape only helps them to move inside the water. It means, and their body also very much slippery, and scales also there on their bodies. So these scales protect the fish body and also help in easy movement throughout the water. That also you have learned in chapter 8. Now the fish have fins and tails also, and these two things help them to change the direction and keep the balance in water. Now gills also, you know that gills also help them to use oxygen dissolved in water. So these are the features of the fish, and these features help it to live inside the water, and the features of the camel help to survive in a desert. So the natural surrounding where a living organism lives is called its habitat, and habitat provides an organism with everything it needs to survive. like food, shelter and proper climatic condition also. See, different types of habitats are given: pond, forest, then a river, desert. So that many types of habitats are given. So here we find that they have certain features that help them to live in surroundings. So the surroundings where organisms live is called its habitat generally. What is habitat? The surroundings where organisms live is called habitat. Now habitat of two types: terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. So what is terrestrial habitat? So the plants and animals that live on land are called terrestrial habitat. And what is aquatic habitat? So the plants and animal that live in water are called aquatic habitats. Again, habitat are of two types: terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. Terrestrial habitat means the plants and animals that live on land is called terrestrial habitat, and aquatic habitat means the plants and animals that live in water are called aquatic habitats. Now what are the terrestrial habitats? So terrestrial habitats are desert, mountains, grassland, and aquatic habitats like oceans, pond, river. These all are aquatic habitat. Now one more thing, biotic component and abiotic component. So what is biotic component? The living things such as plants and animals. Living things, plants and animals only. So the living things such as plants and animals in a habitat are its biotic components. In habitats component, many components are there in habitat. So what are the living components? So living only two, plants and animals. So the plants and animals, it means the living things such as plants and animals are the biotic component. So the living component of a habitat are called biotic components, and living are two, plants and animals. Now abiotic component. So abiotic component, now non-living things. So some non-living things also there such as rock, soil, air, water. These all are non-living things. So these non-living things in a habitat are called its abiotic component. So the non-living component of a habitat are called as abiotic component, and some example are rock, soil, air, water, temperature, sunlight, heat. These all are abiotic component. Again, biotic component and abiotic component. Biotic component, the living component of a habitat are called biotic component. An example, plants and animals. Abiotic component, the non-living components of a habitat are called as abiotic component. Rock, soil, air, water. These two are abiotic component. So one more thing, you find that abiotic factors like air, water, light and heat are very important for the growth of biotic component. It means for the growth of plants, we can say. In fact, these biotic factors are important for all living organisms, we can say. Again, some abiotic factors or abiotic component like air, water, heat, light are very important for the growth of plants and indirectly for the growth of living organisms like a human and all. So abiotic factors are important for all living organisms. See here, habitat in ecosystem, when we say again that biotic component and abiotic component. Here biotic components are plants and animals, and abiotic components are soil, air, sunlight, water. So this way habitat we can divide. Two types of habitats are there: biotic component, abiotic component. And again biotic components, examples of biotic components are plants and animals, which it means that living things. And examples of abiotic components are soil, air, sunlight, water. It means all non-living things. Now next is, what is adaptation? So you know about habitat. It means the surroundings where organisms live is called its habitat. Now what is adaptation? So the presence of specific features or certain habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in its surrounding is called habitat. Again, the presence of specific features or certain habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in its surrounding is called adaptation. So the process we enable organisms to adjust to their environment in order to ensure survival. It means, for example, I told you about that camel. So desert is camel's habitat. But adaptation, why camel can survive in desert? Because camel have long legs, they excrete small amount of urine, their dung also very dry, they do not sweat, they can live for many days without water and all. This all are adaptation. So adaptation does not take place in a short time. Over thousands of years, abiotic factors of a region change, and those animals which cannot adapt to this change die out. Means that adaptation does not take place in a short time, or we can say in 1 year or 2 years. It takes thousands of years, and in thousands of years abiotic factors of a region, abiotic factors like as I told you, sunlight, heat, soil, rocks, water, these all are abiotic factors of a region. So those animals which cannot adapt this change, it means, for example, in surrounding this type of environment is there, sometimes very hot, sometimes very cold, this type of soil is there, this type of water is there, and those animals which cannot survive this type of cannot survive in this type of surroundings, it means which cannot adapt this change, these animals die out, and only the adapted ones survive. For example, when we put fish in a desert, fish cannot survive in desert. It means, and camel, what about camel? Camel can easily survive in desert because camels are adapted for desert only, we can say. So animals adapt to different abiotic factors in different ways, and the result is variety of organisms present in different habitat. Again, what is adaptation? So the presence of specific features or certain habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in its surrounding is called adaptation. The process which enables organisms to adjust to their environment in order to ensure survival. This is adaptation. And adaptation does not take place in a short time. Over thousands of years, the abiotic factors of a region change. Those animals which cannot adapt these changes, they die out, and only the adapted ones survive. Animals adapt to different abiotic factors in different ways, and the result is variety of organisms present in different habitat. So till here students, now in next video I will explain about terrestrial habitats and aquatic habitats. You know what is terrestrial habitat and what is aquatic habitat. So I will explain terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat in next videos. Till then, if you have any doubt, any query, you can write in comment box and go through the video twice for better understanding. We'll meet you soon. Thank you.